All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guest. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. And today, Diddy Piker returns. I'm sure you've seen this already. One Piece has cast reveal for the next season. Alabasta. I'm pretty excited about that. See what's going on with that. Kirsche Vindicated. We'll see how and why. And then, yeah, we're just gonna look more into people being the absolute fucking worst when it comes to Lindsay Clancy and a few other things to that nature. But without further ado, let's get into it.
The root ideology of the left, Hassan Piker, said the quiet part out loud when he mocked Charlie Kirk and the death of Charlie Kirk during his Fear and Live. Is it Fear and Live or Fear and Live? I don't know. His tour in San Francisco, which is surrounded by gays. Here you go.
Like, look, even if you hated Kirk, why would you want to do something like this, and why would you cheer at someone singing this so horribly? Look, and I agree. The song's cringe. Okay, I always thought that it was made to mock him more so than his memory, because that's what it's been used for more often than not. Like I said, very cringe song. But to see what's been done with it is even more cringe.
So cool.
I mean, look at this crowd. I mean, is that Triggles? Was that... Hold on. Is that Trigglypuff back from the grave?
And you're probably going, well, how do you get I don't know, quarter full theater of people to...
Well, and that's the thing with, like, Piker. He'll say that other people are obsessed with him, but, like, when Asmongold, I think he was off the air for at least a month, like a month or two, maybe three, last year, Hassan talked about him almost every day. It was kind of intense. That was back when Nux was in full swing of the Hassan Piker's Fuck series, and when the legendary series first began. I think. Well, it was toward the earlier days of it, and Piker would talk about him like every fucking day. And then as soon as Asmon came back and started watching all of the videos of Piker talking about him when he was out. Then Piker's like, oh my God, Asmon's talking about me every day. He's so obsessed with me. And then the Meat Canyon video came out, and everyone's just like, yeah, that's pretty much. They're actually in love and a symbiotic organism, not unlike Cat Dog.
cheer that and support it. Well, here, look. Let's take a look at the photo.
Angie.
See, those are the people that are supporting it. You know what? Hold on a second. Let's take a closer look at that photo, and you'll understand the DSA members of America. Go ahead. Yeah. There you go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Free healthcare.
Yeah.
Big and beautiful.
Was that the guy from? Oh my God, is that another Mao?
I was promised new shins.
That
Looked like the guy from
Dungeons in the
Fantasy
Year of the
Island.
Dragons.
Don't worry, he has low expectations.
Medicare for all. I was promised.
Oh yeah, no, I decided like I said, I never let my beard get that long, so I figured I'd make it a little more accurate. And like I said, I like it. I like the other one too. The other one seemed a bit more, I don't know, piratey, I guess. But yeah, I figured an update to the avatar was in need since I was doing some other things.
Free stilt surgery.
And I'm not finished. I'll probably come up somewhere in between, just because, like I said, it was always supposed to be more of an anime character But like I said, the inspiration was supposed to be a combination of if you've seen Firefly, the guy that played Badger from that, his character. He also played that Crossroads demon. I can't remember his name. That was a recurring character for like 8 seasons of Supernatural. After the yellow-eyed demon got dealt with, he became like the king of hell or whatever. Spoilers for a 20-year-old show. But yeah, a combination of that and Ichigo Kurisaki's, Ichigo, whatever his last name is, dad from Bleach. But obviously with, bald head and bearded. Hey, good morning, Yunuka.
You're going to make me a real boy. Hey, don't mess with me, buddy. I grew up in the mean streets of Pleasure Island. Pinocchio was really messed up by the way.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I would be lying all the time, too, if I was that guy.
I mean, it's just...
It's like Pinocchio shoved his nose in my ass and started lying like crazy.
And by the way, they've been given cover by those who say, you know what, the left isn't violent. It's just, must be Israel, must be the French, must be, who else is it, Erica Kirk. But, by the way, the same crowd booed when Hassan Piker, known Mao Zedong, cosplay enthusiast, when he begrudgingly said that actually the United States didn't really deserve 9/11. It's a change for him.
America does not deserve 9/11. That's my new thing now. He's been rehabbing his image, which is why.
Why is he allowed in this country?
I mean, it is kind of normal for his audience to boo him. I mean, he's always getting ripped apart by his own comment section. He's very audience captured, Hassan Piker.
Like, honestly, why would someone be allowed in this country who says, I hate this country, I want to subvert this country, also I think this country deserved one of the deadliest attacks that it's seen on its soil in the last half century? And keep in mind, this is something that has been lost in the Charlie Kirk discussion, which is the very first change of mind we did afterwards. People on the political left, they are 4 to 5 times more likely to support political violence compared to people on the right. Now, I know people say, oh, those on the right commit more acts of violence because you're using the SPLC and their determination. They want to tell you that white Christians are the biggest domestic terrorists. Let's even grant that for the sake of argument. It's completely untrue. We've debunked that as well. Check the references. Having a 4 to 5 time multiple on the left of people who would support political violence means they're just afraid to do it themselves. But if there's a big enough gang, they'll take part. Like cheering someone mocking the death of an innocent man. That's how you end up with violent revolution, right? You just add numbers.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's another form, just like we saw with Lindsay Clancy. It's another form of mass psychosis. I can't commit violence myself against the individual because I might feel bad. But if it's part of something more important than me, yeah, let's support violence against anyone who disagrees with us, including a man who did nothing more than sit down and talk to anyone who would listen. We are not the same. This is not the left-right paradigm, man, and the uniparty. You can be disappointed politically and understand that the root ideology of the left is evil.
This country, okay, see, hopes you like eating rocks on Mars. I mean, more or less. Like, I'll never understand how people look. I understand sheltered people not liking, thinking that this country is the worst country ever. I understand people in my own economic class that maybe think life sucks because we don't make a whole lot of money. Things get more and more expensive every day. Sure, but people who come to this country from other places, doesn't matter where. I don't care if it's Europe. I don't care if it's whatever, Middle East, Asia, South America. Anyone who comes to any country and then instantly starts shitting on that country and saying that the country is the worst ever and that they need to do more things for the people who are coming to this country. We're the only country that allows that, pretty much. Any other country either throws them in jail or gets them the fuck out. I've never understood that. Like, that would be like inviting someone over for dinner and they're talking about what a shithole your place is the entire time. And that dinner tastes like cat shit. Like, what are we talking about? This isn't Church's Chicken.
is violent, and there are a huge number of them who would gleefully see you dead.
Okay. Real quick, Yanuka sent me something awesome this morning.
Now it's time to find out who you really are.
Candace Owens joins.
It's Old Man Smithers. He was the one haunting the amusement park.
Not so fast. There is no evidence.
It's Candace Owens. What do you
Scooby
mean
speaks for
there is
America.
No evidence? We tied him up and unmasked him.
But there is no high-definition video of him putting on that costume. I think this was a setup. We need to bring in Erica Kirk for questioning.
Who is Erica Kirk?
She's a patsy of Israel. That's probably who is behind this all.
Oh no, not Israel.
Israel? You mean that tiny country in the Middle East full of Jews? What would they care about an amusement park?
The owner of the amusement park was probably about to condemn Israel's genocide, and they wanted to put a stop to it.
Genocide?
Or he's sponsored by APAC.
This is just a bunch of anti-Semitic nonsense, and you're just wasting our time.
Wow.
Thank you, Freddie.
You really care about this, Fred. I thought you were a member of the Aryan Brotherhood.
Why does everyone always assume that?
Your theories don't make any sense, Candace. No Scooby snack for you.
I would never touch that goy slop. Don't worry, Old Man Smithers. I'll clear your name and get you freed.
But it's true. I was haunting this amusement park to shut it down so I could buy the land. And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for these meddling kids.
Israel. Yes, Israel is always meddling in things, but we'll stop them.
So is anyone going to explain how that dog can talk?
That's another good question for Israel.
That was really well done. See, this Scooby-Doo adaptation was done by someone who actually knows what Scooby-Doo was or was like even to watch. Unlike the show Velma, which was goy slop. But I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling right-wingers. But no, yeah, I thought that was awesome. Appreciate Yanuka for tagging me in that this morning. Fan-frickin-tastic. Oh, hold on. I've been working on something else as well. Hold on, let me. So I thought it would be funny if I made a lot of the things that I have a watermark that says powered by APAC, but APAC stands for Artificial Intelligence Powered Assistant Co-Producer. I don't know, man. Like I love just doing little slights that'll drive people crazy or be like, aha, he's a slave of Israel. Just for funsies, for like people like Sneeko, Hassan, and their brainwashed little cultist. But like I've been kind of toying with powered by APAC, and then I was like, actually change. This is where I'm at right now. I'm still working on it, but it's going to be a translucent watermark that I'm going to have in the corner of a lot of my images. And then I'll have a pinned comment of the main one, and then like a reply to it will say powered by Israel actually stands for Artificial Intelligence Powered Assistant and Co-Producer. But I don't know. Like I said, just a little fun thing that I've been working on. But I should have it done because I'm only kind of working on it when I'm doing other things. I should have it done by the end of the week, and you'll see a lot of that. Just in the corner, powered by APAC, or maybe even just like one or two posts of it. But I don't know. It'll be fun for me at least. Anyway, continuing. Okay, so this is the cast for One Piece. Koza, okay, I think he's like it's been a long time since I've seen the Alabasta arc, so forgive me. He seems like a decent enough pick. I'm not familiar with the actor in particular, but I think he's like part of the Revolution He's kind of on both sides. Like I think he is angry against the king, but then he comes around later on. Toto, I'm not overly familiar. He seems a little young. I think this is the old man that Luffy comes across that gives him water in the desert. Spoilers. But seems a bit young to be playing that role, but whatever. Again, seems a little bit young. I think this is a guy who turns into a bird. He's one of the Kingsguard, I want to say. Again, seems a bit young for the role, but sure, whatever. Shaka, no clue. But again, you're going to see a lot of Black and Middle Eastern characters. A lot of characters changed into Black and Middle Eastern because it makes sense for the climate of the area, and we've already seen that with Princess Vivi and the dude with the wig, machine gunner wig. Okay, that's it. The Battle of Alabasta. I'm sure it'll be okay. So hopefully early 2027. As again, the last season was in like February or March, I want to say. Looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Not going to lie, Alabasta, of all the big important ones, it was probably one of the hardest ones for me to get through, other than the final fight from Whole Cake Island. But I'm here for it. Let's get to it.
And she also explained.
Okay, so long story short, I'm sure a lot of you remember Crime Boss was an old. Okay, let's just. No, but anyway.
On social media were loving this, even.
So yeah, Nyara. Everyone's familiar with Nyara, but if you remember, someone told Crime Boss, a game that Kirsche was really fond of, that she was a Nazi, with little to no actual evidence of that, because she's not. But they say that a lot about people who are just even slightly right of center. But yeah, and so Crime Boss completely dropped her, and just recently, let's see here. But yeah, so we'll let Kirsche explain what happened there.
All right, so story. They sent an email to me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come take a tour of our offices?" And I was like, "Hey, I mean, yes, but also, shouldn't we why are you reaching out to me?" I was just like, "Ayo, what?" I'm very confused. Yeah, it's like we should I'd like to, but we should talk. You know, this is kind of confusing. You're sending me.
I gotta say, the way her avatar moves, it's like she's on like MDMA or some shit. Or there's an old Charlie Murphy clip about the way he would get ready for a character. One in particular, the player haters, Buck Nasty, and he would do this. They would say roll tape, and he would just start going like leaning forward or whatever. Anyway.
Messages here, and I guess the guy who sent me the email, he was like, "Oh, I was just given a list of creators that I should reach out to, and your name was on the list, so if there's something wrong, I'm not aware of it." And I was like, "Oh no, he's a new hire," but I guess he talked to his manager, so the community manager, team lead, and they reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, I'm not exactly sure how you feel, but we would like to talk." Well,
I gotta say, I love that that notification on the thing.
I had a very nice conversation with the community manager lead guy. Turns out, and I have to be careful about how much I say, which I know some people will be disappointed in. I can't help that. But
I'm hoping more on that comes out. More than likely, it's like a Nyara type, someone who's I don't know, man. Like it's hard to tell certain parody accounts from certain quote unquote non-parody accounts. Like Nyara seems like a parody, But then, honestly, so does people like Sneeko.
Essentially, a couple community managers had an influencer friend talk to them around the time that the hit pieces dropped. And those community managers took the
No, it's not even jiggle physics. It's literally like it's like she's on MDMA. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
advice of this influencer.
Or have you seen that blended movie with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore? She's the girl that plays Kevin Nealon's wife on that. Just why shimmy Jimmy.
Her friend, and they were like, "We're going to get rid of this Nazi." And since that happened, everybody kind of just had to go along with the decision that was already made. And the decision fallout after that was, holy shit, this was such a bad idea. No one fucking talk about it ever. No one mention it. No one address questions about it. No one talk about it. We're just not gonna. We see nothing because this was a horrible fucking decision. Why did this happen? Unanimous decision, my fucking nuts. More like we decided to do this before letting everybody know what the potential fallout could be. Could have seen that coming. And so it's just like
Literally everyone saw it coming.
Like, how do we fix this?
So to sum it up again, they have essentially what were rogue community managers who were being influenced by someone who was influenced by the hit pieces and Reddit threads. They acted on it, made the decision, and then the rest of the team was kind of stuck with it and instantly recognized, wow, this was a really bad decision.
Yeah.
But those community managers responsible for this are now gone, and the remaining and new team are trying to mend bridges with Kirsche, and guess what? It was accepted.
Which is good.
And now both parties are benefiting from this, and her community as well. A very good result. Something, like I said, I've never really seen before. A reversal of a cancel culture campaign. You really don't see it. But you can see some...
Which is good. It's a sign that the world's at least trying to heal. But then you see other things going on, and it's just like, take the victories when we can and try to push back against the others.
Some responses from many people, but my wife here, Straub, saying, dang, seeing a company actually apologize to a creator they wronged and try to mend things is nice. I guess it really is that easy. And someone in the replies asked, well, what would it take for you to forgive some of the companies that have wrongfully let you go? And she says, if anyone is curious, for me personally, and also for me as well, it would take a sincere public and private apology and reinstating everything how it was before. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's really fair, especially if it's different people. Now, if it's the same fucker that caused all the things in the first place, maybe something else, maybe some begging. But no, like it's especially if it's someone, like I said, who new to the position, was trying to make amends for things that were done under the previous regime or leadership structure, however you want to say it. Yeah.
And I would be happy. Now I'm going to take like a 2-minute tangent to obviously express some of the things I've gone through that are very relatable to the situation. And me and my wife, Darling Straub, we have lost multiple partnerships over wrong think being brought up by the woke mob out there trying to engage in life ruination. And the crazy part is, when it comes to me and her, we're nowhere near as edgy as Kirsche, right? Like, I don't think that's even up for debate. And yet somehow
not
we
at
have
all.
racked up more canceled partnerships than her. But I wish I could point to the reason why we've lost some of these, including the most recent one earlier this year. And this is kind of an update. I haven't really thought about this in a while until this situation. We still don't know what we did. We literally don't know what we did to get terminated to this point. It's been 7 months. We still don't know. In fact, when we were in the process of being terminated, when we found out, we...
By the way, Yanuka equals baby in Hebrew? Really? Right on. I mean, that's kind of funny considering... Wait, yeah. She pretty much just said baby earlier.
He asked, could you make an official write-up, send it an email or a DM, and just show the rule we violated and what tweets or posts we made that broke that rule. And they said, sure. And then weeks pass by. Straub keeps asking, hey, what about that explanation? Can you guys give it to us? And they would keep saying, oh yeah, we're on it, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. And then more weeks pass. She keeps asking, can we get that thing you promised us? And eventually, they just ghost her. Okay, so to this day, 7 months later, we still don't know why we were terminated from the latest company. We still don't know. We don't know what posts, we don't know anything to this day. And bringing it back to the subject, like a genuine apology, an explanation for everything would be really nice. We're very forgiving people. We've had worse than this whole merch situation happen to us, where we have forgiven people involved if they even have a tiny bit of accountability or transparency or whatever. So bringing this all back, I'm really glad Kirsche had this happen, and maybe it'll encourage other people. Maybe it won't happen to us, it probably won't, but it is something that can happen, and maybe other companies will follow suit. But for now, it's been 7 months of nothing, and I just wanted to give an update on that situation. But in terms of Crime Boss, well, things are going very well for them. They had a flood of positive discussion posts here, including people saying, hey, I want to go back and edit my review. People, of course, involved in the initial cancellation campaign are seething about this. You can see the author of the 3 hit pieces from Vice, who no longer works there, of course. He's now saying that he can't go to Anime NYC for the 3rd year in a row due to mental health and money-related issues. And it's so painful. Yeah, basically, you reap what you sow. Guess what? In terms of money, at least, you probably would have had a lot easier of a time going to anime conventions if you didn't lose your job at Vice to make hit pieces on someone you're seething about in the VTubing space. But here's the other people who are buying it out of spite, now turning around and saying, well, I tried it and your fans told me it's a bad game and nobody actually enjoys, so I'm glad you guys are back together. Pathetic. Absolutely.
Yeah, Nyara's a joke. React to Google's celebrity full name by Mentally Mitch. Okay, I'll check that out.
Pathetic, totally seething, but you know, what do you expect? But there's a lot of seething coming from various communities, not just Crime Boss related, but anything related to the genre. We have users like this popping off saying, when I'm in a shooting my heisting games reputation in the foot competition and my opponent actually isn't Starbreeze, this time it's Crime Boss, I still lose. And they have these screenshots from the Discord where people are asking about the decision regarding Kirsche, saying, fair question, not gonna dodge it. We don't endorse or excuse hateful views towards anyone. And eventually, in another screenshot, they say, we don't promote what she writes on her personal accounts. And these were leaked by an individual here, and they're not having a very good time ever since they've been involved in this. They've gone private after trying to go after Kirsche and spread lies like this, saying they were removed.
And we all know how we feel about people who will say a lot of horrible or negative shit about someone and then instantly block them. It happens to me all the time. I'll leave a comment on usually someone like Sneeko's page about some bullshit that he's pushing, and then one of his little fanboys, his little harem of dipshits, will say something retarded. They'll call me like a shill for Israel or Jew boy or whatever, and I wonder why. And then they'll block me. And then I'll usually, most of the time, if I think about it, then I'll post, you know, only cowards block it, and I'll usually have the image of Muhammad or whatever on there saying it for me. But nah, it's freaking ridiculous. Like, people, and if people actually stood by some of the things that they said, they wouldn't do that kind of stuff. Especially for someone as, you know, small as my channel and as small as my following is on X, there's really nothing to fear. I mean, every now and then someone else will see it because it's on my page and then be like, oh, hey, I could put in a couple cents on that.
Because Kirsche was an a-hole and went after the writer of the article under the form of a effing crusade while crying victim for a person that won't ever give a crap about you. You didn't refute anything. You're all Nazis. Suck my... Yeah. And then someone explains what actually happened, and this individual says, so you're denying that Kirsche herself not only calls her fans Ku Klux Kirschas.
Yeah, they don't do that.
You're also denying...
If anything, they heard about someone else calling them that and laugh about it, I'm sure. Again, I don't watch... I'll catch one of her streams every now and then. But for the most part, it's not really... I mean, it's funny, and I'll watch a couple clips here and there, but like long form, it's not really my thing.
That she
I'm more of a next guy.
The tweet of a fan where there was a plushie of her next to a fascist book. So this person, this
a fascist book.
Besides,
by the way, this is someone who will call Hogwarts Legacy a fascist game because J.K. Rowling, a leftist, except for the trans issue, made it. So therefore, fascism, right?
Is just being deranged. Is claiming that in Kirsche's community, she calls them the Ku Klux Kirschas. Now, of course, people are pointing out that fan name makes me laugh every single time they bring it up. I've watched your streams for years now, and I've never heard it a single time, not even in jest. It just doesn't seem to exist outside of their imagination.
Yeah, see,
Kirsche says, it's insane to be attacked and harassed by being called that, and then regard Redditors, same thing, will be like, OMG, her fans call her that. If they weren't regarded, they'd have nothing. At Grok, who was the first instance of calling me Ku Klux Kirsche? Search all of Twitter. And then Grok provides the context. The first mention ever of this phrase was made by someone who hates Kirsche.
Yeah.
Right? They were calling her that, and now they're
hey, good morning, Jess.
That's a fan name she gives her community. It's like total, utter gaslighting.
Huh. Hey, Jess is here on the kick page. Captain on deck, boys.
But welcome in this guy who's very upset about this situation. Not even a blue check mark, just doing it for the love of the game. Saying Payday as a franchise may be in a rough spot, but it's better than playing Racism and Homophobia the Heist.
Racism and Homophobia the Heist.
Crime Boss.
Man, I got to play Crime Boss. It's only $20 on Steam. I'm gonna play it just out of spite and out of celebration that they've mended their fences with Kirsche. If anyone wants to join me, I mean, like I said, it's only $20. We'll see. I think I might actually have it already.
And someone says, please elaborate. I love drama. And then this person says they took down a known Nazi VTuber Kirsche back in whenever. But basically they provide one of the slanderous Reddit threads that they've been using to cancel Kirsche forever. And then this guy says, bro, the new trailer for Crime Boss makes up for everything. It's so peak. So clearly this stuff's not very important to you if you forgive them because a new trailer looks good to you. And
I will say, like, it's not the best looking game in the world, but they got Michael Madsen in it. Like, I know he's not a huge A-list star or anything, but it's Michael freaking Madsen. He's been in a lot of, like, Tarantino films. He's a pretty good actor, I think. I mean, let's be honest. He's pretty much only done Tarantino films and then maybe, like, one or two other ones I've heard of. But, you know, come on, man. Stuck in the middle with you. Anyway.
Kirsche would reply saying, kind of gross to do this to the game when you've been spurging out over lies about me from Reddit, a Reddit thread that was used as a source in multiple Vice hit pieces against me that got taken down with a cease and desist. Very interesting. You don't seem to care about verifying info, and boy howdy is this guy not interested. So going back to that name of the community, they post this as a supposed own, saying, I think he might know what he's yapping about. Crazy how easy it is to find receipts on you. And this is all they have. So after the name has already been used to try to attack Kirsche, people in her community would use it to mock it, right?
Yeah.
They're doing it in jest. And she reposted someone using it as a joke in a post sharing that they got their...
And like, that's completely normal. Like, if someone's going to call you something... It's like how, I mean, I hate to bring up the N-word, but it's like how black people call each other the N-word. They took it and made their own. So what? Like, I mean, it does suck that I can't quote some of my favorite movies. But other than that, like, this is nothing. And Heister is just the big bearded retard grifter.
Her merch from her. This is supposedly the proof, and it makes no sense.
No.
And here,
But anyway, that's enough of that for right now. Let's move over to fan request.
These celebrity full names.
All right, so fan requested from YouTube chat. Angie has requested we watch Mentally Ill's Mitch Googling celebrity names. Let's see what this is about. Never seen this, so if there's some fucked up shit in here, let me know.
Cat Von D's full name. Can't vaccinate them kids. John Cena's full name. Hold on, I don't see it.
Why does it sound like it sounds like Isma from Emperor's New Groove when she turned into a cat.
Tim McGraw's full name. Samuel Timothy Choctaw Indian Outlaw Bear Claw McGraw.
See, I'd believe a lot of these because I don't know anything about a lot of these people.
Will Smith's full name. Willington Smithereens.
What the fuck?
Bro, these names. Bono full name. Bono Nucleosis.
I had a feeling that was going to be bononucleosis.
Oh, I hope I don't come down with Bono.
Yeah, me either. I don't want to be an asshole.
Woo! Benedict Cumberbatch full name.
Oh no.
Benadryl Cumberbatch.
On that one, look up the as a matter of fact. No, I'm not going to pull that one up right now. I want to get to this other one, but look up Doctor Strange pitch meeting by Ryan George. It's pretty fun, and he does them pretty seamlessly, and he'll just tear through a bunch of people not getting Benedict Cumberbatch's name right. It's pretty funny.
Hold up.
I will do one more.
Full name. Sharing is caring.
That's kind of horrifying what she's done to herself. Like she doesn't even look young. Like she doesn't look old, but she just doesn't look like herself, especially if you know her from before. But anyway, so that's Googling celebrity names. That was interesting. That was definitely interesting. Let's move on to.
Do you think that?
But I'm not. Should be Lindsay Clancy.
All right, this one's going to get a little more dark. We're going to look a little bit more into some of the psychotic things that have come out since the Lindsay Clancy thing. So, just forewarning.
It seems to me that one point in time in this country, killing 3 children, there wasn't much discussion to be had. Also, this idea of, well, this person was insane or this person was driven insane. I don't know if you know this. Pretty much every serial killer, pretty much every mass murderer has tried to use that defense. So acting as though it's unique because woman. Can someone explain that to me? And I will tell you it's actually less relevant in this case because a lot of the information from the TikTok detectives that you have heard is incorrect.
I mean, it was just him going back and forth and laughing his ass off. Like, it's... I don't know. Like, it was pretty funny. But, like, 4 solid minutes.
The man was cheating on her. No, he wasn't. The man was abusive. No, he wasn't. She didn't have access to care. She absolutely did. She was a nurse. She had access to tons of care, more than anybody else out there, as a matter of fact. We don't do anything about postpartum depression. That's not true. So what do we do here? That level that you saw at the WNBA, that irrational, emotive response, we are seeing that as a form of mass psychosis. And by that I just mean close to 50% of women in the United States reacting to Lindsay Clancy, the woman who strangled 3 of her children, as evil as it...
Hold on, real quick. Look, I hate to agree with the Krasensteins, but why is Homeland Security putting shit out like this? Like this, even if it's a troll, shit like this is just going to make people think that they're right, that all government organizations must be loyal to the president. Like, this is cringe, man. Like I said, shit like this, I don't want to agree with the Krasensteins, but here we are. It's a bit much. On his own account, sure, but not on government organizations, even ones he's the head of. I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry.
It gets. Well, today you get a little bit of a fan club.
Unbelievable.
Like, look how many of them there are.
Institutionalize every single one of them.
Yeah.
And take their kids away. Take that baby away from her. That's
like there's the ones that actually brought the kids, and then there's the ones that don't have kids with them, who I assume that they left their kids at home, probably in a dryer.
my opinion.
Show a heart. What about the three that
Like,
won't meet again?
And what about, like, what is this? This is a kid. This is someone who's gonna grow up thinking that these people are, like, intelligent, and this is a good thought process to have.
That's my opinion.
Show a heart.
She's
What
like,
about the
oh,
three that
we're
won't
doing-
meet again?
If this is your mom, you don't have to take care of her in old age.
That's right. Stick her in the Happy Gilmore home.
Don't pay for it.
Looked down, crawled her hands down the wall, and eventually decided, okay, now it's time to flip, lands on her thoracic spine, and is dead to the world.
Every one of us that have roots that go back to the Salem witch trials.
This person just looks like someone who would be in a movie about that.
We are freeing our ancestral bloodline by coming together for Lindsay Clancy.
I'm completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids. I'm drowning every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much.
So stop shopping on Amazon or whatever it is. What?
She either let herself fall out that window completely limp, or she was completely limp and unconscious when she went out that window.
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not
Oh,
guilty.
hey, look.
Oh, no, she's
Candace Owens,
obviously
of course.
guilty. And here's the thing. People go, oh, because of all the medication. Well, she wanted the medication. By the way, someone who says they need help who has postpartum depression, guess what? She got the help that the system tells you should get. We say you need to fix the system. What do you mean? Listen to women? We already do. They need better access to health care. No one had better access to health care than this woman. They shouldn't be taking pills. Well, this woman just went to another doctor who would give her the pills that she wanted. She didn't follow up with talk therapy. Let me give you some statistics here while we talk about how tough women have it.
Real quick, this is one of my favorite nicknames for someone. Mao Zap Dog of when Hassan's in the CCP get up. That's just too good, man. It's almost like he did it on purpose for us.
In order to justify this. And it's evil. And this is why repeal the 19th was trending. Let me ask you this, women. I've asked this many times years ago. Would you forego your vote if it meant that these psychopaths couldn't determine the future of the country? Because if we repeal the 19th, I wouldn't just apply to women. It would be taxpayers. It would be people who are literate. It would be people who could pass a civics test. It would be property owners. It would be only those who are in mandatory, right, enlisted service, the draft. I mean, if you're not, you don't get to vote. That would negate a lot of women, a lot of these women out there on TikTok. Let me give you some stats here, though. So women use SSRIs, psychotropic medications, at 2 times the rate of men already. So we have far more mental health care for women, or at least they're willing to access it and reach out for help, often uploading a self-filmed video to TikTok. Single mothers, here's one that might surprise you, 48% more likely to abuse children than single fathers. But we have a system that automatically, in most states, defaults single mother. Goes to the mom. 48% more likely to abuse the children. By the way,
That is actually surprising. For people who don't know any.
check out the references. I'm not making this up. And then let's talk about this. 2 billion babies have been aborted by women just in the 21st century, about 73 million a year. And you may say it's not a life, and you may say the tens or hundreds of millions that are late term where it's viable and it's clearly a baby already. Those would be included in there. You may say, well, those are exceptions. Okay, still tens of millions. This still tells you that as far as empathy, men who oppose it more often value life, value responsibilities, value accountability. that the Western woman today simply doesn't. And this, combined with social media, is really...
Which is a huge turnaround from at least the perspective of how it was seen even 10, 15 years ago, to where it was always, the guys pushing for getting rid of kids and whatnot. The guys always walking out, so on and so forth.
Really, really damaging, I would say, to women more than men. Men, if they watch, so they might take some steroids because they see an Alan Richardson who says, I just take testosterone replacement. They're like, I guess I better buy whatever he's doing. Okay, so you try and compare yourself. But studies show us that women depend much more on comparisons to peers for their own personal happiness than men. And it used to be where, we talked about this with social media, right? You see their best life. People are just putting forward, look, here I am in Cabo. Look, here I am at the Grand Canyon. And me and my husband have a perfect life. You see a snapshot. You don't see all the arguments. You don't see all the growing pains. And so women would look at that because they're more likely to compare themselves to others and start conflict in the home with, well, why don't we do that? But here's the thing. We've now switched that with a competition for victimhood. It's a social currency. I struggled with postpartum. No, I struggle with postpartum. And no one's saying that it's not a real thing.
Constant one-up.
It's a constant one-up of, I have it worse than you. I have the hardest job in the world. No, I have the hardest job in the world. So studies confirm that women depend on these comparisons more than men for happiness. Okay? And now we see that women...
And I've never understood that. Like, being a parent, especially a stay-at-home parent, is difficult. Of course. Like, no one argues that, but the most difficult, like Bill Burr said it best. He figured he had it pretty bad as a roofer in the summertime as a ginger. Jesus.
Value. They place more value on victimhood. That's why they vote overwhelmingly left than men. That's a combination for disaster, especially when you understand that the feminist left, it is entirely predicated on women cannot be held accountable for anything. Just like Black Lives Matter, right? Oh, you committed a crime? Well, that's just because of white privilege. George Floyd,
I mean, of course.
It must be violence in policing. Billions of dollars in damages? Hey, well, it's the prison industrial complex. We need to release people if they are black, period, because they must just have had a rough break. Now apply that to more than half the population. Well, it's not my fault. My husband wasn't there enough. Oh, it's not my fault. My 9 doctors only gave me 18 medications and it wasn't the right one. It's not my fault. My hormones. And this is where can you imagine being the child of one of those mothers that you just saw? Can you imagine that? This is going to live on forever. I mean, it's like, oh, hey, Mom, I guess you really didn't want to have me. I was the most difficult struggle you've ever faced, you've ever had. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for telling the whole world that I effectively ruined your life. No, Mom didn't mean that. I was just struggling. No.
You lost your spark.
Yeah, lost your spark. How about some gratitude for that child in your life? And this is where we are. It's not just...
And that's one of the things, like, as, like... I had an aunt who always said, my main goal was to make sure that I didn't raise my kids to be little assholes that I hate. and that always stuck with me, which is probably why I never had any kids. Anyway.
It's not about the 19th Amendment. It's about
Hey, see you, Jess. Thanks
going,
for coming in.
Sexual liberation without sexual consequences. Nothing is your fault. You can blame men because it's the patriarchy. We've gone too far. It's the old, if you give a mouse a cookie, you give a bit of rib. This has been going on since the beginning of...
How dare you do that to that book?
She'll want some rice to go with it.
She will. She's going to want a forbidden fruit. She's going to want to lie about it. So now let's go to some of the reactions with Lindsay Clancy here. And this is also the problem with therapy. And, well, you have a problem with therapy in general as a practice, or I should say psychology, psychiatry. Is there a valid role for it? Yeah, there was. The study of human behavior, and certainly there are patterns that you can recognize. They haven't had the same breakthroughs that we have seen with other modern medicine, which is pretty interesting to me. But now that extends to people online who aren't even qualified, who fancy themselves, just like they fancy themselves detectives, but therapists. Here's a professional counselor, Jessica Stacy, telling.
Well, we'll check out what this person has to say, and then I'll probably end up switching to something else for the rest of the show. We'll jump over to the Snow White trailer roasted by fans, and then maybe something else, because this seems more just like what's it called, like a manosphere type bit. We'll see what this person has to say, and then we'll go. But I didn't expect it to be that. I thought it was going to be like a compilation and thoughts on people supporting this crazy nonsense, which it kind of is.
Clancy,
but
and these have millions of views and hundreds of thousands of likes and shares. I just need to stress, this is not a small minority of women in this country. It's a lot. It seems to be at least a third, probably closer to half. Here you go.
Lindsay Clancy is not going to prison. One of the main reasons that I am qualified to speak on this case.
This person terrifies me, and no, not just because they're redheaded, but yes, also because they're redheaded.
Someone with over 22 years of experience.
It's that soccer mom you hate.
Licensed mental health professional, and
she's licensed mental.
Of them with a specialty and emphasis on perinatal and postpartum mood disorders. Is because I experienced it.
She did not want to harm her kids or herself.
She did.
Which I would believe if they all got taken out at the same time. Like maybe she threw a table or whatever. But she hunted all three of her kids down and strangled them to death. That's no.
So many women who are desperate to feel
Kill
better,
their kids.
who are desperate to not feel the regret that they're experiencing
by killing their
kids.
kids.
This child whom they've wanted for so long. And it is not because
3 children.
we cannot hold women accountable.
It is.
Many of us see ourselves in Lindsay.
She could not access
Terrifying.
the services that could make her better.
Complete
Many
BS.
of us know that we could have been only one.
She wasn't she like she's a nurse. She has full access to all the things. From all accounts, her husband's supportive. He was going to pick up her meds when this happened. She sent him to pick up her meds so she could kill her kids.
Step away from doing some of those horrific things.
Pause.
The unimaginable.
If your woman says that she feels she could be one step away, get the children away from that woman. And by
Yeah.
the way, you'll probably be in violation of the law because you could take it to the authorities and they won't do anything. That's really the problem that we have.
When they say the system's broke, that's what they don't mean, but that's the truth.
This man would not have been able to get the children away from the mom, just to be clear. We're all one step away. I'm like 50,000 steps away, including when my kids are being really bad. I'm like, I'm not even close to one step away. Oh, but you've had experience with it. Hey, they regret this child that they've wanted for so long. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I get that your hormones go. By the way, you know that men have, it's not as severe. You know that men, our testosterone plummets immediately after we have children. Big reason for it is because that's biology's way, our evolution of saying, hey, now is time, instead of sowing your seed out there, now is time to be home and ensure the survival of your offspring for a temporary period of time. Less risk-taking behavior. It's well known. Some studies have seen it drop by like 30%. So this goes around. But you're one step away and you regret your child. Imagine spouting this and your child is going to see it. Let's finish.
Horrific things, the unimaginable, occurred as a result. But mark my words, she is not going to prison. As if that actually matters to her at this point.
Lindsay Clancy is
She's
obviously not guilty.
She's obviously very guilty.
It does matter to her because she's pleading insanity. If it did matter to her, she would just go to prison.
Yeah.
It obviously matters to her. She doesn't want to go to jail. She doesn't want to face accountability for her actions.
Well, she's trying to, yeah.
And then this lady goes, oh, you're just one step away. And oh, she wanted the child. It wasn't one child.
Right.
You weren't one step away.
Yeah.
You're one step away from killing one child. Watching them die in your own hands.
And even
then you
that's
went
a
to another
stretch.
one,
And another one.
and then you did it a third time.
Yeah. And it was premeditated.
Oh, this is an ad.
A heinous crime. And the result is 3 dead children. oh, it doesn't make a difference because her life is ruined. No, she ruined the lives of everyone around her. You know what? I'm sorry. I feel horrible for the husband who lost all 3 children.
Yeah,
And by the way,
100%.
his wife, who no doubt didn't respect him, who no doubt it was a toxic relationship, not because of toxic masculinity, but because of feminist narcissism. And then people now, he moved on too fast. How fast is too fast? I would imagine your brain hits reset when that happens immediately. Also, this idea that she didn't have the support that she needed.
Oh, and by the way, most of these people are the same kind of people who will say, if a female cheats on who they're talking to or who they're with, it's something that the guy did, 100%. Even if you know no details on the story, that's always what they go to first. Which, even with my friends, like if I have a friend and I know that he's, like I was in the military, and someone who was in my friend group, I won't call him a friend because, I mean, he was at one point, I guess, but he was cheating on his wife with someone who looked and sounded like Ducky from The Land Before Time, if they had grown into a person. I didn't rat on him because it's really not my place, because I didn't know his wife. I'd met her maybe once, if that, at the time. But yeah. And I gave him shit for it all the time because she was gross, and she was one of those people who were known for, just kind of going around the barracks. But yeah, no, I gave him shit all the time, and he was someone who I was pretty friendly with. I normally give people the benefit of the doubt, but if I know better, I mean, he always said his wife was crazy, and then like eventually, like I got to know them before they got divorced, and she wasn't. She really wasn't. There was apparently, like, he cheated on her a bunch, and that was the deal.
Her husband took paternity leave. Her husband worked from home to be more supportive. Her husband ran errands that she should be running. Her husband picked up medications and food. Her husband paid for a nanny, which likely made her more mad because the nanny could do whatever she needed to do backwards with high heels on. Both sets of grandparents assisted. She attended an outpatient postpartum program 5 days a week.
Oh my
She saw
God.
at least 6 doctors and nurse practitioners. She was a nurse herself. She had 13 prescribed medications. She would shop around for doctors and meds. By the way, it's reported that she didn't follow up on the talk therapy, just get the meds and then hope for the best. She was a labor and delivery nurse with direct access to medical professionals. If she didn't get enough help, then no one on earth is getting enough help, let alone the men who worked on skyscrapers, eating their lunchbox in the sky, and came back home to their house and didn't kill their kids.
Which I'm really glad I wasn't born in that generation, because I probably would have fallen and died.
100%. By the way, I did not know that she was a labor and delivery nurse, an L&D nurse. Listen, if you don't understand what that means to me, that blew my mind. It's the only thing that you need to know. The nanny, the husband, the help from grandparents, none of that even matters. At this point, this woman would have had more access to help, more training on what to do than any other woman in the United States that does not work in a labor and delivery department. There is no helping. If at that point you cannot go, hey, I can pick up a phone and call 15 of my friends who are nurses who have dealt with this. I can pick up the phone and call doctors, and all of them will take your call and take you seriously because they know you. They will all do it immediately. Every nurse out there knows right now, whatever specialty they have, they can pick up the phone and call, and they will go, yes, I'm with you. We'll get you taken care of. If that didn't happen with her, it can't happen for anybody.
And this is why we need a little more patriarchy. This is why you want to say chauvinism? Okay, fine. Here's what, no. I'm not going to stay home. Sorry, I'm going to go work while you take care of these children. Why? I'm not going to go run errands and do everything that you can do. Sure, for a couple of weeks, for maybe a couple, you'll get some support. No, you know why? Because if I do that, then you're not going to respect me and you are going to resent me if I answer to your beck and call. So here's your role, here's my role, here are our responsibilities, and we are going to do what is best for the children. I'm not your assistant. You don't want to be a maid? You don't want to be a live-in chef? I'm not your personal assistant. I have to keep a roof over our head. I'm not going to become the man who you resent because you can never respect the emasculated eunuch. Here, speaking of which, is an emasculated attorney who's on Instagram with her influencer girlfriend, making sure he gives the right answers to her pro Clancy takes.
Okay, new series, asking my attorney boyfriend.
Oh God. Okay, brace yourselves. I'm gonna take a swig of this coffee. Okay. Okay, this guy's probably I'm gonna guess he starts off with a valid opinion. And then he slowly but surely loses all sense of himself.
About Lindsay Clancy. What did you think of Lindsay Clancy when I first told you about the case?
Psycho bitch.
Evil, guilty.
Good.
What did you think when
That
she
face.
pled not guilty by reason of insanity?
I mean, I didn't really think much to the defense.
What were your first thoughts after Kevin Reddington gave his opening statement?
Immediately, I was interested, and I was, because what I didn't hear
because she makes you watch it.
Prosecution's open statement was anything about like culpable conduct on her part beforehand, like she Google searched this or she
did.
wanted to get out of this relationship, or none of that. So I was interested.
Motive.
Yeah, motive, exactly.
What do you give the prosecutors, A through F? You were their law professor right now.
That's hard.
And their strategy.
Look, I think they got a tough case. Still feel like there's that the information that they have, they should be presenting truthfully without shading it, and I think that would be much stronger for them, and I don't think they're doing that.
Okay, so far so good.
Give the defense an A for his.
We didn't get to that yet.
Sorry.
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty.
And I said that before she had finished saying before he had finished saying what he said. So, instantly regretted me giving him that.
Oh, sorry. Please don't break up with me.
Sorry. Yeah, they should have presented. This is the problem too with the TikTok, the whole Candace influencer detective work. It's like, well, hold on a second. How did she end up with a body temperature of 80-something degrees at the hospital? Because she had a serious spinal injury that would obviously disrupt thermoregulation.
Yeah.
She'd taken a bunch of medication, huge amount of blood loss, and she was laying on the cold concrete. No, the husband did it. Why didn't they? Well, Clancy did use Apple Maps to determine how long her husband would be out of the home while she strangled the 3 children, to be clear. And this is the problem. You allow this at all, it's going to fracture marriages. And many people have been experiencing a soft version of this. I understand it. Here's undercover footage of a woman freaking out, some would say rationally, on a guy at a wedding because he doesn't agree with her take on Clancy.
And by the way, he went through something similar, much more low-key, but his wife colluded with one of his business partners against him for the divorce settlement, I believe. At least one. It might have been 2 actually, but I can't remember if it was not Jay Garrett or not Gay Jared or Quarter Black Garrett.
Suffer in fucking silence? No, you don't, because you're not a fucking woman.
I'm not.
So, like, I'm saying that, like...
I mean, all kinds of people suffer in silence. If you have a loud, obnoxious partner like this person screaming right now, you probably suffer in silence.
You as a society is saying that every woman, because we all survive in silence, that we should all fucking do it.
But I'm saying
without
this is
support.
portraying a bad message for women.
No, it's not. No, it's
Just because you're getting upset and screaming doesn't make you right. Just so you know.
not. No, fuck you. Don't tell us what it is and isn't doing.
I won't. I won't.
No, it's fucking insane because here's
It is, but not in the way that you're trying to say.
the thing.
What is it?
Women can do everything.
No, you
We
can't.
can work. We can work full time. We can take care of our kids. We can manage every fucking schedule. But
Most don't.
like, we will always fall short. Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. Why don't you fulfill yourself by getting a college degree, doing this, doing that?
That's other women that do that, and some douchebag guys. But mostly the prior.
This is important. I just talked about the comparisons out there. There is not a single man I have ever met my entire adult life who looks down on a stay-at-home mom.
No.
Not one. Not one. There's not a man out there who goes, you're a stay-at-home mom. Weirdo. That excludes...
With few exceptions. There are exceptions of ones that stay home, and they don't move from the one spot on the couch from the time that you leave for work to the time that you get back. I had another buddy, again in the military, had that situation. On occasion, he would come home, and the diapers would have very obviously, you can tell when a diaper has been sitting on a kid soiled for a long time. He would come home to that most days because his spouse would look at the clock and say, "Oh, Daddy'll be home soon. He can take care of it. I don't really want to. He doesn't do enough." And then the second that he got home, she would clock out completely. I look down on those. Again, that's nowhere near all, but they do exist.
Exclusively comes from feminism, from women's lib, and the women telling you that you should have it all, that you should be able to find some self-worth in your job. No men feel that way. It's toxic feminist narcissism that is putting pressure on women to deny biology. Because you know what? For the longest time, women were happy raising kids. Not about everything, but women found fulfillment and purpose in it. There's no man. Women, if you're watching this, no man looks down on you for being a stay-at-home mom or wife. It is not a thing. Let's keep playing.
Oh, you work? You have someone else raising your baby.
I'm fine if you want to stand on that hill, but using this case to do it, I don't think is smart.
I'm saying, okay, you can. So
okay. I think a woman killing her 3 kids is not the hill to die on.
Hold on, I want to.
I think a woman killing her 3 kids is not the hill to die on of this is what women need and this is the health care they need. Trying to say that she is not criminally liable, which is a defense of insanity. A defense lawyer would never do that unless it was 100% certain that she did kill her kids.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't.
And how many mothers are there in the U.S. or in the world? And how many of them do that? It takes
Do you know how many mothers? Do you know how many mothers suffer from postpartum depression?
And how many of them?
Yeah, and how many of them do this?
That's an extreme. Like you cannot. No.
But it's the one you're defending. Look, you can't be the one defending this case and then say that this case is an extreme. You're defending it. You're saying that this is valid, that this is okay, that she's innocent. And some people are even saying that the husband is actually the mastermind of all this because he moved on. Because she's never coming back. And even if she did, even if she was set free, there's no way that anyone could stick with someone who murdered their 3 kids. Or murdered 3 of any people that you knew. Like, even if it was just someone who lost their shit and then killed 3 random people. What? Unless y'all are like Bonnie and Clyde, that's not going to happen. Least of all if it's your 3 kids.
What I'm saying is you cannot say that the system didn't fail her.
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty.
The system didn't fail her. The system that is designed by and for women did exactly.
No, if anything, she failed the system. Again, she works in a field to where she knows several people who could have helped her. She probably had prescriptions written by colleagues at work. And if not, then she didn't work in a very good office.
Exactly what you have asked for it. It did exactly what you have asked from this system. You can't give me your opinion. Really? Why can't the half of this country that is less likely to abuse a child, that is less likely to be on psychotropic medication, why can't they have an opinion? Also, by the way, let's apply this. Do you know how many women suffer from postpartum psychosis? Hey, hope every employer out there hears it. And we have to compete in a space with men where if we want to have a baby, we don't get paid. Well, which is it? Do we all need to take note of how so mentally unstable you are that you can't be held liable for murdering your own children, even though that's an extreme example? Or are we not allowed to take that into context when we're looking at employing someone who might be looking at starting a family? That's what I get it. Men don't have that. Biology is different. Maybe what we're doing isn't working. Maybe you shouldn't try and out-men the men, because right now you're saying that you can't handle it. Here's some comments there. Someone said, I love women who argue with arrogant men. Yeah, that guy was the one who came across as really arrogant.
Yeah.
No man can speak to this, period. None. Guess what? We can. Because men play a role in making babies too.
Look, and again, I can completely understand when it comes to, yeah, a lot of men can't speak to what it feels like to go through postpartum depression or whatever postpartum psychosis. Yes, except for when you kill your kids. And then I think that we have something to say. Just people in general. You don't have to be a thing to comment on whether or not someone who kills someone because of said thing is wrong or is bad. It's retarded.
Don't marry a man who thinks Patrick is innocent. I would say the opposite.
And all you're gonna do is, like, if you're gonna give even just a mild bit of credence to guys who use, I can't even think of any like testosterone driven psychoses off the top of my head, but I'm sure they exist. And you're gonna give any kind of credence to guys who try to use that as a defense. And you're going to give it to more so-called mothers who also try to give it a defense in the future. If this is given any kind of credence at all. Therefore, shut the fuck up, okay? Your fifis don't make you right. You getting upset and screaming doesn't make you right. Just take a deep breath and actually think about these things for even just a second.
Don't marry a woman, don't date a woman who thinks that there's any justification whatsoever for Lindsay Clancy, which, by the way, has become the new litmus test here.
My new vetting process for if I want to date a man, first date question I'm always going to be asking him is, do you think that Lindsay Clancy should go to jail for what she did?
Yes.
And if that man says yes, I'm getting up and walking out right then and there. I cannot spend the rest of my life with someone who thinks that that woman is guilty and just...
Okay. Please do this. please do this. Okay, you're gonna separate the victims of a future potential murder from people who have any kind of self-respect. So please, if this is a dating criteria, if you're going to have that be one of your first questions on a date, if someone even recalls this case in the future, and if that's going to be your get up and go question, then please, for the love of God, save those men from you. Please. I'm all for people being open and honest with all their fun little quirks. Please.
Deserves jail.
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty.
Hey, another crazy.
Well, thank you for the question. Oh, wait. Oh, you think Lindsay Clancy shouldn't be held? Okay, I guess we're done here.
Well, I don't
even have to go Dutch.
I don't think she should go to jail either. I think she should be let out and free to have more children.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think she should be let out and then be forced to be, the prey in the most dangerous game.
Yeah, oh, okay. I was going to let her adopt.
Just hunt some Clancy. This is something that I think a lot of people are considering this eye-opening. It's what we have known to be true. Not all, but far too large of a percentage of women. Put it this way, far more women in the country feel this way.
Oh yeah. And I'm not gonna say that one, but yeah, there's an interesting point in the YouTube chat.
I think this way, then all of the immigrants and black Americans who you talk about who vote lockstep Democrat combined. This is the demographic, this is the group that can alter the course of the future of this country. That's why it is that important. And I want you to watch these montages, self-uploaded, from all of these other professional victims, mothers, and how tough they have it and how much they regret having their children.
And this is crazy. I think we covered this a little bit ago, but all right, the first one was crazy enough, but okay. Like, I would recommend, I mean, this is, again, if your kids are in the other room, probably go without the screaming while throwing ice into your bathtub. But, you know, whatever, throw ice into the bathtub, sure, whatever. This one, I mean, come on. This is just attention. Why would you record yourself crying and put it on social media? Just why? Attention.
Thank God you set up the tripod.
Okay, this date can't be accurate.
You throw like a postpartum girl.
Might be 2025.
I'm a silly little bitch.
Too long, didn't read.
And this is just rude. This is just horrible.
Waterboarding your kid.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
the child away.
Even if you have
Huh.
a husband, which I do, I have an
Hey, remember that movie Corpse Bride? I don't know what made me think of that.
The sword of destiny.
with the kids. I always feel like I'm the one that has to think of everything, and he just kind of shows up, which is great. He shows up, he does the work.
You look like you show up in my closet at night.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's horrifying. My God, eat something.
Check that Ozempic
really
dose.
compiles and gets to you.
See, yeah, this is someone who is clearly on Ozempic, but they were like regular. They were regular, skinny, thin already when they started taking it. Women, love yourselves, for the love of God. Okay, don't do this to yourselves for some retarded beauty standard that you probably are already at, or could never live up to, and certainly won't if you do this to yourself.
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty.
Now, here's the thing. That's also a trend right now, the throwing ice in the tub, because apparently some therapists have been saying that's a good way to get out your rage, your violent behavior. But by the way, if a man gets mad, rage is a reason to take children away. Like if a man hits a wall, or if a man even hits a heavy bag, they even made the case like if he feels the need to take out rage, that means that it's bubbling and it could come out at any time. The ice throwing trend, by the way, has had some unintended, I would say, irreparable consequences.
Honey, I'm back from the liquor store. There was a sale on Grand Marnier. You're gonna love these margaritas. Where's all the f***ing ice?
I mean,
I was doing something nice.
That was pretty funny.
Nice for.
Not anymore. No ice.
And you know,
I bet you threw the salt in the tub too.
Right.
Yeah.
I will.
Bitch.
I'll just say, look. Yeah, postpartum, got it. Postpartum psychosis. I also, I know that well. I understand it. Most people don't kill their kids, but I'm not willing to even entertain that conversation right now, because the conversation right now should be nothing other than evil lives amongst you and we need to eradicate it. And people talk about protecting the most vulnerable among us. Usually they mean trannies. Usually they mean black people in Section 8 or serial violent offenders or those who had a speedball in their system with a lethal dose of fentanyl like George Floyd. Hey, how about babies? How about children? Do we not want to protect them? I'm not willing to have the conversation while we're being held hostage. Well, we'll talk about, sure, accountability, but no. Sure, accountability, death penalty. Death penalty. By the way, I'd sign up for that firing squad tomorrow and say, make sure I don't have the blank. Anyone else have a problem with... You gotta be on the same page, right? And we have to let these people know in this country, the other evil people who live amongst us, that we will not tolerate it and we have no sympathy for them. I'm sure everyone needs help in life.
Yeah.
I get it.
100%.
Go look at those commercials with the kids who have leukemia. I think they have it a little bit harder.
Is this really the stereotype that these women want?
Yeah.
Do they want the stereotype that, well, hey, they're likely to hurt their kids?
Right.
They're just one step away.
One step away.
Maybe we should take measures. I don't think they want that.
Oh, you're still here?
And real quick, I really, again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm getting down on any particular people, except for the kind of people who are crazy enough to think that it's okay and that she should be set free for what she did. And especially for those who are, even though the defense and the defendant are all saying she did it, and other people are like, no, you're Candace Owens types. This is what I'm saying this is what I mean when I'm saying I don't understand how anyone can actually be a legit Candace Owens fan, is simply because of stuff like this. The delusional takes on things that have concrete evidence. Like Tyler Robinson's not guilty. Lindsay Clancy is not guilty. It's absolutely insane. Real quick, My mom got me one of these masks for Jason Statham. I want one, but of this face. I want one of this avatar face. For like if I ever get to the point, like my boy over from, hold on. A friend of ours from the community just got, here it is. Yeah. So a friend from the community just got a spot on side scrollers. I've seen a couple people go from side scrollers to Geeks and Gamers Pod to Nerdrotic Friday Night Tights and so on and so forth. If this ever happens to anyone else, specifically me, if I get to the point, and this guy's got, I think, 1,200 followers, which is like 4 or 5 times as many as I have. If I ever get to that point, to the point where I get brought onto one of these shows, which could bring a lot more eyes onto the channels and such, I'm going to work on getting a mask of this so I could, like I said, especially if you go on like a live thing where, like, I think Craig is trying to do gaming stuff like he used to. He's already done one where he rented out a convention center or a room in a convention center to where they could just go on there and, you know, play games or whatever. A lot of fun. That as an old dude, not a lot of people my age still doing that kind of stuff. So it'd be fun. And hell, I'm here. Craig, have me on the show. But I'm gonna get one of these masks just in case there's any need for like live action until before I get to the point, if I ever do get to the point where I can sustain myself just based off this. But again, just lofty little dreams. Shaboop. Okay, let's see. Mentally Mitch's. We'll see how long this video is. If it's short like the other one, hold on. That is not what I said. I'll never understand how I can copy paste something and it comes out not what I said. There we go. Okay, we'll watch a little bit of this.
They made a movie nobody's going to pirate. You mean you're not even gonna watch it for free?
and nobody did.
Wow, Disney, you are truly incredible. It took you 3 years, multiple rewrites, unnecessary CGI, and $209 million just for me to enjoy a comment section of a movie I would never watch. Bless you.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Like, originally they were going to have 7 magical creatures because they thought having dwarves was like racist or something. And then the backlash came because of how this one described the movie. And then they added the dwarves back in, but then they also kept the magical creatures. This whole thing was just a shit show. Like, the live action remakes should literally be 1-for-1 reshots of the original with little to no changes. Except for maybe taking the Black Crows out of Dumbo. But other than that.
Why is Lord Farquaad playing Snow White? Hold on, watch you do the light. Rachel Zegler. Snow White is not going to be saved by the prince. The prince. Good, because I'm here for your stepmother.
I mean, basically. And that's another thing that's always bewildered me about the Snow White movies. And it's not just this one. What's it? Snow White and the Huntsman, I think, that had like Chris Hemsworth in it. You still had Mouth Breather from Twilight as Snow White, and then you had someone who is actually much more attractive in Charlize Theron, or Theron, however you say it, as the evil queen who's jealous of the other one's beauty. Mouth Breather from Twilight, I don't care about her name. She's not even that, like, appealing. Especially, God, lately. Lately, it's like, man, she wasn't even like an actual child star. She was. Oh wait, no, she was. She was in, I think, Panic Room with Jodie Foster. I thought she was a boy in that movie, like until she got her period later on in the movie, and I only remember this just for this, because I like to make fun of it when people, when I was in the military, would be like, "Hey, let's go watch Twilight," and I'm like, "Hey, shoot me in the face."
Disney, we are a diverse and inclusive company. Also Disney, we don't hire
No midgets. No midgets. And that's the thing. They use these CGI terrifying things instead of actual dwarves because they didn't want to hire a bunch of dwarves. And dwarves, except for Peter Dinklage, were like, "Hey, man, we'd like to work. We know you're not going to hire us as the main heartthrob for a movie. Can we at least get these roles, please?"
Yeah, we're allowed dwarves. Why are we settling for this computer-generated nonsense? The public are 50-50 on this. 50% rooting for the evil queen, 50% rooting for the poison apple.
Yeah.
Either way, Snow White's getting taken out. Disney, coming to a theater near you. Me, is that a threat? This trailer saved my dad. He has been in a coma for 8 months, and when I played this trailer, he woke up and got out of bed to turn it off. Thank you, Disney.
Bless you, Disney. You're saving lives all across America.
At this point, the monetization of this video is going to earn Disney more revenue than the movie itself will.
I mean, that's basically true. Like, how much...
At this point, the comment section is the real magic.
Hold on. Real quick. How much did it cost to make the live-action Snow White? $336.5 million. And they got like $65 million tax reimbursement. So with the tax reimbursement, $272 million. Worldwide, how much did Disney's live-action Snow White make? $206 million. So this movie lost, with the tax reimbursement, this movie lost $70 million. Why? Like, this is what I'm talking about, where movies cost ridiculous sums of money because of the reshoots and some of the firms like Sweet Baby for video games coming in and consulting firms coming in and just sucking up all kinds of needless money to tell you to not make your movie the exact same way that it already was, which would have made you all the money.
I got a feeling that this movie gonna have more comments on YouTube than tickets sold.
Which it did.
How crazy would that be?
Factual. It was pretty crazy.
I want the queen to win in this version.
100%. And look, and flowers where flowers are due. Rachel Zegler, the parts where she was singing was the only part of the movie that were good. She's a fantastic singer. And Gal Gadot, she should never sing, even in jest. If we didn't learn it from the really cringy Imagine video that was put out during COVID, we certainly learned it from this movie. Gal Gadot barely made it as a attractive piece of decor in the Fast and Furious movies that she was in. She made it through Wonder Woman because I think Patty Jenkins directed her pretty well and minimized the amount of actual lines that she had to do in one go. It was brilliant. And then they completely backtracked and did something different for the sequel, which was awful. I'm a big fan. Like, I think Gal Gadot, she seems like a really nice person. She's very pretty, but she's not a great actress, and she really can't sing. But she seems like a really nice person, so I try to minimize how much I say negatively about her. But even her in this movie was awful. And a lot of people didn't see this because she's a Zionist, because she's from Israel. I think she was in the IDF at one point, because you have to be if you're born there.
The names of the 7 dwarves are pixelated, blurry, glitchy, badly rendered, fakey, unpolished, and unconvincing. Wait, what are the actual names?
Dopey, Sneezy, Sleepy, Doc,
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the
Dopey.
bravest of
I
them
said
all?
Dopey already.
For not locking the comment section.
I'm so glad they did.
I think they did eventually.
The hatred of this movie will reunite the world. It's a Christmas miracle.
I mean, it really did. Much like that dude throwing his shoes at George W. Bush, and that girl from the Black Eyed Peas doing that really weird take on the national anthem. Very few things have brought people together like this comment section.
They really should have left Snow White in 1937. This trailer makes me want to sit on the TV and look at my cow. Is it really that bad? Gal Gay Dot. Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Mirror.
You are, Your Majesty.
Cut the credits.
Yeah.
How funny would that be? Disney should pay me for watching this trailer.
I mean, and honestly, who's really to blame for this? Steven Spielberg for finding what's her name, Lord Farquaad in the first place. I can't remember her name.
Snow White.
Rachel Zegler.
You're not going to be saved by the prince. Prince, you are not worth saving.
Yeah, 100%.
Disney started with Snow White, and apparently it's ending with Snow White.
I mean,
First movie they made.
not wholly inaccurate.
Relive the classic story. Also Disney changes the classic story.
All right. Real quick. We'll keep playing that for a little bit. Hold on.
I might have to spin the block on the Little Mermaid, too.
I have.
She
Yeah.
doesn't need the poison apple. She's toxic enough by herself.
No, 100%.
Disney invites you, and I must politely decline. My Wi-Fi tried to disconnect itself to save me from watching it. No, that's cold. Rachel Zegler. I don't need your business. Everyone, your terms are acceptable. Wait, did she really say this?
No, she did. 100%.
Wait.
She did. She said it on Instagram. I don't need your business. That, like, if you just cut that and then show how much this movie cost versus how much it made, girl. And even then, like, you can't even take fully into account the amount that it made versus the amount of profit, which is negative, like $150,000 or $1 million.
Which one is supposed to be the evil queen?
But anyway, real quick, this one's pretty fun.
So, you have that live-action Snow White script for me? Yes, sir, I do. Oh boy, time to tap into that hardcore Snow White audience. So at the beginning of the movie, we find out that Snow White's parents named her that because she was born in a snowstorm. Naming your kid after the weather conditions at their birth is a good strategy. That's why I named my son Mistifer. It's why I named my daughter Partly Claudia. Anyway, a couple of years later, Snow White's mom dies. Dies from what? From being a parent in a Disney movie. Oh, that'll get you. So then the king
that's
meets the
fatal.
evil queen and marries her. Why would he marry someone named the Evil Queen? Should have probably been a red flag, yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have anyone in mind to play her? You know, just someone who can deliver her lines. No deal! Oh my god. So then what happens? Well, then the frickin' dad disappears and she seizes the throne. Oh no. Yeah, and stuff is dire in the kingdom under her rule. We're talking very muted colors and some dust. That sounds like a nightmare. It's worse than hell. So anyway, then Snow White grows up and her entire facial structure changes and she gets a little Lord Farquaad bob. What? And everyone assumes she's dead, but she's actually...
Dude, I love this dude. And the best part is that he does this while somehow not really pissing anyone off. It's fantastic. I don't know how he does it, but most of these are just utterly hilarious, especially about a year in, he really hits his stride, and he hasn't stopped striding ever since. Maybe once.
actually working as a maid inside the castle. Why would she be presumed dead if she's been walking around the castle this whole time? Unclear, but one day this cute thief steals some potatoes and he gets sentenced to death, so she goes to save him. How does she manage that? Well, he was just kind of tied to a fence with some loose rope, so she gives it a light tug and saves him. Solving problems with a light tug is tight. Okay, so who's this dashing man? What's his dashing name?
I love that. And that's one of my favorite things. He's got a few catchphrases of his own if you haven't watched any of his stuff.
Oh, you're gonna like this, Jonathan? Anyway, then the magic mirror tells the queen that Lord Farquaad is fairer than her, so she's like, well, she's gotta die now. She wants Snow White dead? Why'd she keep her alive in the first place? Unclear. So then the queen tells this huntsman to kill Snow White, but he sets her free into the forest. Okay. And that's when we're gonna see her iconic outfit. Oh, I've got a coupon code for a site called Temu. Maybe we could get one off of there. Yeah, that sounds good. So anyway, then she finds a house and does a little B&E and takes a nap. Just straight into bed. Sir, she's had a big day. She ran through trees, fell in water, and saw a bunch of CGI animals. That's a good point. So then we're gonna meet the CGI dwarves, and oh boy, do they look like living corpses. And what's their deal? Well, they work in the mines. For who? Hey, shut up, and they have magic powers. They do? Tell me about those. I'd rather not. We're just gonna show them having glowing hands once and then never mention it again. Fair enough. And then we're gonna have them sing hi-ho. Very polite. Promiscuous women deserve to be greeted, too. What? So then what happens? Well, later, Snow White's gonna meet up with Jonathan again and his friends, the 7 bandits. Oh, we're meeting a whole other group of 7. Yeah, one group of 7's not gonna be enough this time around. The fans are clamoring for more groups of 7.
And again, that's because they were going to have 7 magical creatures instead of the dwarves, then fan backlash, and then they added CGI dwarves because it would have taken too long to cast real dwarves, I guess, even though they were all probably sitting by their phones waiting on Disney to call when this movie was announced.
Are they? Yes. Feels like it'll be tough for people to get attached to this many characters. Actually, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't care, though. Oh, okay. So then they're gonna get attacked by the Queen's soldiers, and Jonathan's gonna jump in front of an arrow that was gonna hit Snow White. Is he okay? Yep. All right. So let's not talk about it again, ever. That works for me. Anyway, Jonathan takes off to look for Snow White's dad, because he might still be alive, and he gets captured. Oh, no. Yeah, so he gets tossed in a freaking prison cell along with that huntsman guy. Oh, no. Yeah, and he tries pulling on his chains to get free, but it's no use. He's stuck in there. Well, sounds like it's going to be impossible for him to break out of there. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, both him and the huntsman pull on the chains, and then that works, and they get free. Had nobody ever tried that before? Guess not. And there aren't any guards around? None. Well, fantastic. But now the evil queen knows that Snow White's still alive, so she disguises herself as an old woman and convinces her to eat a poison apple. To kill her? No, to make her sleep real hard, unless someone kisses her unconscious body with some real feelings behind it. Why not try that arrow strategy again? Because they tried that once and it didn't work, and by movie logic, they cannot try again. I feel like it might eventually work, though, if you keep shooting arrows at her. Impossible. So all the CGI animals see that the queen is doing this to Snow White, so they take off to warn the dwarves. Why don't they warn Snow White if they're right there with her? Hey, shut up again. So then the dwarves get back, but they're too late. Snow White is very much asleep. Wow, I wonder if she'll wake up. She will, because Jonathan's gonna plop his big wet lips on what he thinks is her dead corpse. Very romantic. So she wakes up, and now they gotta go confront this frickin' queen. Yeah, they better. How are they gonna take her down? Well, Snow White's got a trick up her sleeve. She reveals that she remembers the names and professions of the people that now work for the queen. Okay, so?
And the queen doesn't know those things about all the people that she surrounds herself on a daily basis.
You know, that solves everything, and everyone turns against the queen. Wow, well, thank God that worked, and that the queen didn't try that arrow thing again. Well, it would have been no match for knowing that this one guard's name is Paul. I guess not. So then the queen destroys the magic mirror, which absorbs her into it, which is how it works now, I decided. Great. So what do you think?
Ooh.
Hey, listen, you've described a movie. You're darn right. In court, you wouldn't be able to argue otherwise. And the movie you've described, well, who wouldn't want to watch that?
The answer is anyone. But yeah, anyway, guys, I've gone way over time. I apologize for that and bloviating for as long as I have. But I appreciate y'all for coming by. Thanks to Captain Jess of the X Street Pirates for popping in for a bit. Thanks to, of course, everyone who's here on a daily basis. And by everyone, I mean Angie and Yanuka. You guys are my rocks. I appreciate you very much. Everyone else who's popped in, there was one comment that said, coming to a theater near you. Me, a black person travels back to 1619. Jesus. Okay. On that note, we're gonna get get out of here. I appreciate you guys. This is Alfie Animus for the Associated Guest.